Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm going to show you today a ferment that is kind of different to most ferments that you've seen me do. It's still lacto fermentation, but I'm not going to use a brine per se. I'm still going to use salt, but I'm going to vacuum seal it in a bag. And I like doing some of my ferments this way because they turn out crunchier and crispier. And there is actually less chance of any spoilage happening because you're taking all the oxygen away anyway. It's like making sure that you have your water over all your veggies. So what I'm going to do today is some cauliflower, carrots. I've got a daikon radish out of the garden. I've got literally only a couple of spare beans, some chilies, onion and garlic as well. So we're going to cut them up. Now you can cut this up to whatever chunkiness or fineness that you would like in your ferment. We don't mind this one fairly chunky because it makes for a really nice bowl on a nibbly platter or as a side garnish to your salad or even your veggies. It's also a really nice ferment to just take in your lunchbox with your meat and your fermented vegetables. So I'm going to make them kind of chunky. I kind of want bite-size pieces. So that's a couple of onions. And there's no hard and fast quantities with this one either. It's a good way of at the end of a week and you still have some veggies in your crisper to just cut them up and put them in. I like also in this, I do like beans in it. I like broccoli as well, but I don't have any broccoli at the moment. I could probably go out and pick some more radishes, but it's a little bit wet outside, so I'm not going to. And so we're just going to combine all of these ingredients into a bowl. And these chunkier parts of the stalk, I actually like to cut them up and ferment them as well because they turn out quite tasty. I'm just going to cut up the carrots. Now I like to half the carrot long ways. So half the carrot long ways and then do that again to each half. And then just cut like little sticks is what I like to do. This is kind of like the size I sort of like in this ferment so that it's small enough as a nibbly but not too big and chunky. So I'm going to do that to about a bag of carrots, and that was a head of broccoli, one full head of cauliflower. It was a couple of onions. I think it was about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic that I've put in here. I'm going to go ahead and just put these couple of beans in. Why not? They won't feed us for dinner, so I may as well ferment them and just snack on them. I'm just going to cut up a couple of chilies just to get a little bit of heat in there. Okay, now that I've done all of that, so we just have the mixture of onion and garlic and cauliflower, carrot and a tiny bit of green beans that came from the garden. I'm going to add around about a 2% salt ratio. if you're familiar with my videos, I just estimate and normally do the taste test. Something like this amount, I reckon just under a tablespoon is going to be sufficient. Put that salt on it, and then I'm just going to mix that salt all the way through so it gets a nice coating on everything. Now you don't want it too salty because you want to be able to eat this afterwards. You can go ahead and do the taste test once you've mixed it all through. Pick up a piece of carrot or a piece of cauliflower and just have a taste and just make sure it's not too salty. I don't think this one will be. I'm going to break up the onion just a little bit so that it's not quarters, it's just flaky bits. Now when you're tossing this all around and getting the salt covered in everything, you'll notice your veggies are starting to get that glossy look of them, and that's a good thing. That means the salt is starting to draw out a little bit of that moisture. So this is where this ferment gets different to the other ferments that I do. I'm not going to put this into a glass jar and make sure the liquid is over the top. I am going to put it in a cryovac seal bag, and then we're going to suck all the air out of it and let it ferment that way. So I've just cleaned up my space so that I have room to lay these veggies down. So I've put them all in the one bag, and there is plenty of room at the top for, you're going to need to leave some room in your bags for expansion. As it ferments, it will let off gases and your cryovac bag will turn into a beautiful little pillow, and that's exactly what you want. So I'm just going to put this, just flatten it a little bit. And so I am going to suck all the air out of this bag and then heat seal it. We've taken all the air out of this bag and we've sealed it up. Now this is what you're looking for. So there's no more oxygen in here, which is good. That means the bad bacteria can't grow. And because we've made it salty, it's going to encourage the good bacteria to start growing and fermenting this batch of vegetables. I'm going to sit this on the counter for at least a week. And as the week goes, as the days go on, like I said, the veggies and the bacteria will start letting go of gases, and that will cause this cryovac bag to puff up and have air in it and turn into like a beautiful little pillow. So that's exactly what you want to happen. Now here's one that I've already taken out of the bag and it's been sitting in my fridge that I did exactly the same way. Ooh. Now you can see there's some liquid at the bottom. There's some liquid at the bottom, so a little bit of liquid was formed in this ferment, but the veggies are still quite crunchy. They're not soggy, and they taste so delicious. The carrot still has crunch to it, and that's how I like to have these veggies. I like them to still be crunchy and nice. So guys, let me know how you go. Any questions, pop them in the comments. But please let me know how you go and what else you like to ferment in this fashion in a cryovac bag. I have done just straight red onions in the cryovac bag, and they turn out really well as well. I will be putting up both versions of my fermented red onion, both in a brine and in the cryovac bag soon. But for now, we'll just have these veggies. So big hugs until next time.